enabling the business. And then it goes beyond that. Businesses which have important data to share, important services to offer, are doing it uh, and adding revenue to their additional revenue stream to their businesses. We will see more of that in further presentations, how companies are doing that, right? So digital transformations, as we said, digital transformation is the process of leveraging digital technologies to fundamentally change how businesses operate, deliver value to customers, and compete in the marketplace. uh, when they do it digitally, most likely it becomes much more easier and faster and convenient. One big example would be digital banking today, the banking that we all do on mobile phone and our laptops rather than going to banks, right? Um, Digital technology adoption is a very crucial and important aspect, not just from enabling business, but also going above and beyond what businesses can do. For example, leveraging cloud computing, leveraging artificial intelligence, big data analytics, combining different devices using IoT, automation, and so on. Digital transformation also provides a strong emphasis on understanding and meeting evolving needs and expectations of customers by leveraging digital channels, data-driven insights. So leadership in company knows at real time what is going on, what customers are liking, what they are using more, and they are doing less. Uh, Decision making, data-driven decision making is something which is enabled by digital transformation. Agility and adaptability is another part. Obviously, when you use digital channels, everything is visible, everything can be audited, and things become a lot more seamless than they are physically. It drives cultural change. It drives cultural shift within an organization, uh, emphasizing collaboration, experimentation, and continuous learning. So overall, digital transformation is not just about adapting new technologies. It's about reimagining business processes, reinventing uh, how things are done, right? So that is the importance of digital transformation. Now, how companies are using I'm so sorry. So there are companies that are using digital uh, APIs in their core. Healthcare organizations, um, e-commerce, all of them are using. Now, we'll talk a little bit about API monetization. So we talked about enabling business by digital channels. So businesses can do a lot more faster and most likely in cheaper cost when they adopt digital. Uh, uh, they make themselves digitally enabled. Some businesses go beyond that and they monetize their services and data. So what this business API monetization is basically to be able to provide APIs which will be used by different parties to do different things. And those parties, because they are getting value from your data or your services, they will be willing to pay you. Today, many are companies which are entirely running on APIs. One very latest trend you must have heard or even tried out is Chat GPT from OpenAI. Right? So it runs on API. So when you call Chat GPT, you send a request and then it processes that request and gives you back the data or detail that you are looking for. So that is enabled by APIs. Then there are quite a few other companies such as Midjourney, which allows you to enter text and based on your text prompt, it will generate an image and give it back to you. There are some companies which are generating even these PowerPoint slides, right? Um, or videos even. So all of that, of course, on the back end of it, there are AI models that are running, but all of that interaction with you, personalization, that what are the kind of data you would probably be looking for, is enabled by APIs. So monetization is being done by new businesses such as something businesses that are providing AI services or specialized services, but they are also being leveraged by traditional banks or traditional institutes. I have personally seen some of the very large banks which are adding revenue streams by exposing their APIs to different businesses. Um, for example, one of the banks that I have closely seen, they expose their APIs to one of the airlines, and customers can get credit card on which there will be no name of that bank written, but the name of this airline. It's for Australian airline called Qantas. So Qantas has a credit card. You can apply for the card and they will give you card. You will see Qantas written on that. But on the back end, all of that services is actually provided by Citibank. So how it happens is that any transaction that customer does goes to Qantas, which calls Citibank's APIs and fulfill all those requests. So these are new ways of business by leveraging your existing ecosystem by exposing that ecosystem as APIs to the outside world or your partners or your end customers. Some of the strategies that are being used today is subscription models. You subscribe for certain usage of APIs, right? Example would be an email marketing platform where you are subscribing and you will be using certain services like sending emails and follow-ups and so on and so forth, and you will pay a monthly subscription fees. Then there are usage-based pricing. So there are companies which charge on usage. So how much services you use, the amount of services used within a month or week or year, there will be a usage-based pricing. There is something called freemium model. Freemium is a part of it would be free, and if you like it, you can take a higher version, which will be premium or paid model. Then there is something called pay per call model. So customer pay every time they use a service, right? So for example, a location based services API, they charge developers a fee for each geolocation lookup. So for example, uh, Uber uses a geolocation service. For example, let's say it uses Google Map service, then Google will charge Uber for every time they use it. Of course, the charge would be very small, but it's a cumulative business. Uh, so that is something that is happening. Revenue sharing is another model. So you partner with a third party developer or platform and share revenue generated from API usage or sales. Example is an e-commerce platform that offers an affiliate program where developers can integrate the platform's product catalog API into their application and earn a percentage of sales generated through their referral links. Right? Then there is transaction model where uh, the provider will charge a fee for each transaction or action facilitated through the API. Like a travel booking API charges a commission fee for each flight or hotel booking made through the API, earning revenue for each successful transaction processed. Then there is licensing model. So uh, the exam licensing your API to another business or developers for a fee, granting them access to use and integrate your APIs into their application. Example could be a data analyst platform licensing its APIs to software vendors and enterprise customers, allowing them to integrate advanced analytics capabilities into their products and services for a license fee. So these are some of the benefits, and then you could have a developer ecosystem where you are exposing your APIs to outside developers, which could be individual developers, which could be other companies, and they can use your APIs to integrate into their applications, and that is how you generate a, a stream of business. Right? So these are some of the monetization strategies for APIs. We will see how some of the large companies have been really very successful with APIs. Right? So I have taken these 6 examples that I personally like the most. Um, One is Airbnb, Uber, Salesforce, Stripe, Netflix, and AWS. So these use cases really demonstrate how Businesses across various industries have leveraged APIs to innovate, streamline operations, and deliver value to the customer. Right? By embracing API-driven strategies, these companies have redefined traditional business models and positioned themselves for a long-term success in digital age. First example is Airbnb. Right? Um, Air. I'm so I'm so sorry. There's some glitch with it. Yeah. So Airbnb is a company that uses APIs a lot. I'm so sorry. Why this? Give me a second. Yeah. You can see all right.
Yeah, Sandeep.
Okay.
Yeah, now the presentation is visible.
Okay. Yeah. So I was talking about Airbnb. So Airbnb or Air uh, Bed and Breakfast, originally called, utilizes APIs big time to offer seamless booking experience for travelers and hosts. Airbnb integrates with Google Maps API to display location information, Twilio APIs for SMS notifications, and Stripe APIs for secure payment processing. So Airbnb uses APIs to transform the entire business model for hotel kind of services, lodging services. Outcome, by leveraging these APIs, Airbnb has transformed the hospitality industry, enabling travelers to book accommodations effortlessly and hosts to manage their listing efficiently. Now, imagine this: the company was founded in 2008, and their current revenue is at $6 billion with about 7,000 employees. Right. So rather than traditional hotel booking, these guys started something which was entirely API based business model. The other one is Uber. Of course, everybody knows Uber now. So Uber uh, and Airbnb are very similar in a way. Uber provides taxi and Airbnb provides lodging, but they revolutionized the transportation industry by offering convenient ride-hailing services. Before that, you could go to two streets and ask for rides, but now you can do everything from your phone. So they started in 2009. Today, their revenue is at $37 billion, and they operate in 10,500 cities globally with an employee count of more than 30,000 people. Right. So they entirely change the way we look at rides or taxis. The third one is Salesforce. A very successful company started in 1999. Today, they do pretty much everything in the software world, at least. They are at a revenue of $35 billion with employee count of $72,000. Sorry, 72,000 people and more. So they entirely changed the way it works. So they started with a CRM or customer relationship management application portal, SaaS platform, and today they use and they provide all kind of applications and softwares, right from integration to analytics and so on. Stripe is another company, awesome company. I mean, they are the de facto standard for online payment processings today. So you could do online payments, billing payments. You could integrate your own software or SaaS platform with Stripe to charge payment to your end customers, right? So they change the entire thing by use of APIs. So they provide APIs for doing everything. So they kind of provide those APIs. So you as a business can use those APIs uh, to make payments and receive payments. They are at 14 billion revenue, started in 2009 with employee headcount of 8,000 people. Netflix actually started as a physical store cassette company, but they transcended into online business, API based business, and today there are 260 million people who are on Netflix, who are users of Netflix. They generate $33 billion revenue, uh, and they had started in 2007. Um, Everything that we do today on YouTube or Netflix is API driven, right? So they do a backend and analysis of what you will like. They have algorithms of what is your likelihood of watching something. So all of that is empowered by API. So the backend is of course not API, but the way they interact with their users and monitor their traversing through their website is done by APIs. Another one is AWS. Again, very good example, not to be confused with Amazon. AWS is a part of Amazon, right? Amazon is a bigger company. Amazon was founded in 1994. AWS started in 2002 as a subsidiary. So today, uh, AWS generates a revenue of 80 billion, while Amazon generates a revenue of 574 billion. So it's really a very small part of Amazon. But what is interesting is the profit that these entities generate. Amazon, the store, generates 36 billion profit from a revenue of $574 billion, which is a little over 10%. Not even 10%, it is less than 10%. While AWS, at a revenue of 80 billion, they generate a profit of 22 billion. So imagine it is more than 25%, which is profit because of the whole digital economy thing. So that was all the use cases. So I believe with good data and the right technology, people and institutions can still solve hard problems and change the world for better. Right? So as we draw our journey through the world of APIs to a close, um, I would uh, reflect some key insights that we uncovered. So APIs are lifeblood of the digital economy today, which enables seamless connectivity and collaboration between disparate systems and platforms. By understanding how APIs functions and exploring real world use cases, businesses can unlock new avenues of innovation, growth, and revenue generation. As future business leaders, it's incumbent upon us to stay abreast of emerging trends and opportunities in the realm of APIs and explore how they can be harnessed to drive value and foster innovation in our organizations. So I personally urge each of you to continue exploring the world of APIs, to remain vigilant in monitoring industry trends, and to consider how you can leverage APIs to drive innovation and growth in your future endeavors. Whether by developing new products, optimizing business processes, or enhancing customer experiences, API hold the key to unlocking boundless opportunities for success in the digital age. So we can move to questions now.
Thank you, Sandeep. Uh, Mr. Sa-
Sure, my pleasure.
yeah. Mr. Sandeep has given us an extensive presentation on application programming interface and how it works in business, especially in e-commerce, finance, healthcare, and transportation. with examples, that is real life examples of Uber, Stripe, etc. I was amazed with the uh, by the digital transformation happening across the globe. With all this, the we are winding up the session, but before that, we'll open the session for question handling. If suppose the students or the participants, other delegates have questions, you can just write it and just pass it across to me. I can uh, uh, handle the questions on your behalf, or else participants who are online can post it in the chat box, or they can ask it directly. Anybody has any queries?
Sir, I have a question.
Sure, please.
Hello, sir. This is Namita. The question goes like this: like, what does innovation means to you personally, and how has it impacted your life or work?
That's a good question, Namita. Thank you for asking. And yes, as you said, it's correct that innovation could mean different things to different people. For me, innovation is anything that makes human life better. Now, that is a broad statement. When we say innovation making people's life better, then it can be something which makes things easier, uh, cheaper, or better, right? It could be a small thing, it could be a big thing. Like airplane was an innovation, but so is a small machine or tool that makes it much easier for people to carry out anything. Uh, on my own context, I think innovation is a key. There are people who are good at different things. There are people who are good at thinking, and there are people who are good at execution. So if there is somebody who can be creative and can think of different ways of solving problems, then they must apply to it. I have tried to do that, and it gives me immense satisfaction if something works out well.
Thank you, sir.
Anybody has any questions? Shall we wind up? Yeah, we have had a very fruitful session, very thought provoking and interactive. I would like to
Hello, ma'am.
Sandeep.
I would like to, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes,
I have posted a question on the chat box, ma'am. Can you please read it
one
out for
second, one
sir?
second. I'll just check.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah, there is a question. Mr. Sandeep, can I read the question which is on the chat box?
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I can see. I'm
Yeah, yeah. Can APIs be used in human resource planning of an organization? So what? So that human resource management becomes efficient. This is a question from Jyoti Kulkarni.
Yes, Jyoti, this is already happening. So there are some companies which provide SaaS-based platforms for human resource planning, management, and further. So they leverage APIs to do different things. You might n- have known about systems that take in your resume and kind of filter that resume for a specific job description. Then there are systems which can, somewhat advanced system which can, looking at a person's engagement with the company, can tell uh, uh, the value of that person in the organization and his likelihood to quit. So yes, there are, but I would still say that there is a lot to be done yet. Uh, uh, if I have to be specific, I would say that for the recruiting industry, I don't still think that it is optimized yet. It still works on a paper credential than somebody's real skills and talent. So if you are interested, that is an area which I would suggest you to look at.
Yeah, there is another question from the participant who is present here physically.
Sure.
With increase in AI, am I audible?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
With increase in AI and its applications, what about the ethical consideration when it comes to the data taken from APIs?
Um, this is this is a tough one, I would say. I mean, this is a debate which is happening globally, worldwide, and like any other tool or technology, anything can be used for good and can be used for bad. This We all have responsibilities to debate on it and put our thoughts forward in a way. One example could be the power that we get um, from the like of atom bomb, right? The fusion reactions, the chain reaction. So it could be it is being used for good and it can be used for bad. Similarly, AI, one bad thing is, there could be many bad use cases, uh, and then there are good use cases, and all of that depends on how AI is programmed to do. By itself, it is nothing. I mean, so my take on that, I mean, to cut my answer short, my take on that is yes, it is. I think it is a real threat for everybody, um, and we all have to act as like responsible citizens to make sure that it does not harm humankind.
Yeah. Thank you, Sandeep. Any questions? Any more questions, online participants? Yeah, I think it's time to wind up. I would like to thank Mr. Sandeep Nashikkar for uh, his beautiful presentation and for sparing time out of his busy schedule. I know he has a series of meetings to attend. Once again, I would like to thank Sandeep sir. Thank you once again. I would like to
It was
thank
my
our
pleasure.
editor, Dr. Seema S. Shenoy, and the coordinator, Mr. Don Prakash, for their support. My heartfelt thanks are due to all the participants who are present online as well as offline and making this session a successful one. Thank you. Thank you once again.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Esteemed researchers and scholars, greetings from SDM College of Business Management Postgraduate Center for Management Studies and Research, Mangalore. We are